boy went to school one day. The dad dropped him off at school, and it was exam time. And after the teacher wrote the exam questions on the board, he kept reading them, and he discovered that he could not find answer to any of them. And the more he thought about it, the more confused it became. And then he looked around in the class and saw that everybody else was writing the exam except him. Now he started going into a panic mode. It's like asking himself, so I'm going to have a 0? Am I going to sit here? What am I going to do? Should I pretend to have a heavy headache and excuse myself from this exam? Should I just leave the paper blank and submit it like that at the end of this exam? Or should I just write anything that comes to mind and hope for the best? He was thinking. And suddenly, he remembered his dad.
The podcast where we dive into the heart of music, creativity, and the people who make it all happen. I'm Letitia, the music.
Hi, welcome to Letty's podcast. This is Letty Law. And today we're treating the topic that is called lazy parenting. Lazy parenting. You know, some parents, they give birth to children and decide not to teach them anything. Yes. The reason they said, we are going to allow them to make mistakes and learn from their own mistakes. My take on that is that there are mistakes capable of taking lives of the people, maybe the people that made the mistakes, or that of the people around them. There are mistakes that can take many years to recover from. For example, the mistake of pregnancy, when somebody is pretty much a child, and they got pregnant. Both for the boy and for the girl, it would take many, many years to get out of that, unless they resorted to something like abortion or giving up the baby. It will take years to bring up and for a baby to bring up another baby. It takes 9 months to carry them to full term, number one, and then after the delivery, it takes a lot of work, financially, emotionally, and physically, and many other ways too. So, allowing them to make mistakes, the children, instead of learning from other people's mistakes, can be a huge mistake by itself. I believe that people should learn from mistakes, but I think it is far better for them to learn from the mistakes of others, meaning every child needs direction and guidance. Yes, I believe that. Because the Bible has said, the Word of God said that in the heart of every child is foolishness. Yes, nobody comes into the world with too much wisdom already, no. So that's why we have to teach and redirect. It's a full-time job, actually, to bring up a child. So bringing them up, bringing them into the world and helping them is not only by supporting them with money. Yeah, they need an actual presence and training and upbringing and guidance and teaching them the right way and the right way to do things, the right way to go, and teaching them the wrong ways and not to go there. It is not wrong to tell a child, the truth. Oh, your grandmother did this when she was younger, and that is why this thing and so happened to her. Your grandmother's classmate that went to swim, I'm giving an example, your grandmother's classmate that went to swim in the dam died there because it says do not swim there, and so on and so forth, and instead of allowing them to go out and then a friend will dare them or a classmate to swim in the dam and they jump in. So these things need to be taught to the kids. And one of the things I like is that there is the Bible, the Word of God, pretty much like a blueprint to life on earth, so that we can use it to teach the children, we can use it to advocate for the kids, we can use it to direct and mold their character so that they will come out when they become adults, they will turn into very useful to the society and to themselves also, so that their life will not be detrimental to their existence, so that the whole world will not be sad that this one was born because of the way they turned out. No. So that is why I say that it's important to teach and guide the children in ways that will benefit them and benefit the whole world and benefit their parents too. The Word of God also said, spare the rod and spoil the child. The rod does not mean that you have to flog them every minute or go physical on them and beat them to death and stuff. No. It can be a word of admonition. It can be a gentle advice. It can be reading the Word of God with them very early in life, even when they were in the belly, in the womb. You can read the Word of God to them. They will learn your voice. You can pray for them. They will learn your voice. You can pray good things into their lives. You can prophesy good things and say you will grow up to be this, you will grow up, things that you want them to be. And then pray you will not be this way or that way. You will not meet anyone that will take you away from the hands of God. Prayers like that. You will fulfill your destiny. And you pray for the children. And then when they are delivered, when they are born into this world, that's when the actual work starts. You start the work. You start to train them. You start to give them help. You start to, when something is bothering them, you find out, what is it, my dear? And you address it. You show them the way. That's the correct thing to do. I'm going to tell a story here that happened like a month ago. It was in the house of one of my co-workers. He is a Christian man, practicing Christian, not, like he's saying I'm Christian, but he doesn't. This one practices it. Him, his wife, and they're bringing up the children. Bringing up a child is hard work, let me tell you now. So those that are taking those ways and saying, we are not going to say anything, we will allow them to make their mistakes, they just don't want to do their jobs. That's my opinion, though. So, this one I'm talking about, the story I'm going to give now is concerning the little boy that is called Josh. Yes. So he's 10. His father and his mother taught him to read the Word of God, teach him how to pray, taught him, the quickest solution to any problem you fall into. You pray and ask the Lord for guidance if your parents are not there. Otherwise, you ask mom, you ask dad. It's easy. It's better to start telling them before they will start hearing things and be misled from the outside. boy went to school one day. The dad dropped him off at school, and it was exam time. And after the teacher wrote the exam questions on the board, he kept reading them, and he discovered that he could not find answer to any of them. And the more he thought about it, the more confused he became. And then he looked around in the class and saw that everybody else was writing the exam except him. Now he started going into a panic mode. It's like asking himself, so I'm going to have a 0? Am I going to sit here? What am I going to do? Should I pretend to have a heavy headache and excuse myself from this exam? Should I just leave the paper blank and submit it like that at the end of this exam? Or should I just write anything that comes to mind and hope for the best? He was thinking. And suddenly, he remembered his dad. And then he said, if my dad was here, what will he do? And he remembered, my dad would have taught me to pray. So he bent his head. He bowed his head and prayed a little. He was telling his dad this story when the dad came to pick him up at the end of school that day. He said that as soon as he finished praying, he looked up at the questions on the board and the answers began to come. Yes. What do you know? He got an A in that class, in that particular subject. So, because they taught him how to pray. Look at a 10-year-old boy. So I encourage all the parents there. If you are a Christian parent, please do not wait and say, we wait until they become of age. Like they say, you cannot give religious tracts to anyone below the age of 18. Yes, you need to let them make their own decision. Well, in some households and in some schools, before they turn 5, they have already memorized the books that they use there. In their father's religion, in their mom's religion. Yes, they have already memorized it. Meanwhile, you're waiting. And then anybody out there that want to confuse the children will confuse them before you finish waiting to tell them. So with this story, we're going to go on a little break. And while on break, we listen to the music of Lady Law, one of her songs. And when we come back, we conclude on this podcast today. Thank you. God bless.
Prayer is a master key. Prayer is a master key. Prayer is a key. Prayer is a key. Prayer is a key. Prayer is a key. Say prayer. When I sing is prayer. When I talk is prayer. When I walk is prayer. When I dance is prayer. When I clap is prayer. When I cry is prayer. When I think is prayer. When I kneel is prayer. Prayer is the master key. Prayer is the master key. Prayer is the 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 key. Say prayer. You can't go wrong in praying to the Lord. Prayer. You can't go wrong in praying to the Lord.
Welcome back. So we're on the concluding part of this podcast. We are talking about lazy parenting, that it is better to do our jobs in teaching and bringing up the kids, that helping our children that we brought into the world is not only by helping them financially. It's good to bring them up in good character, show them the way. We should not only allow them to make their own mistakes and learn from it, because mistakes can take away lives. Mistakes can take away many, many years from their lives in order for them to recover from it. And so we can teach them and allow them to learn from the mistake of other people. That is the best way. telling them the stories, don't assume that they are not listening. They may look like they are not listening, but believe me, they're hearing every word. How do I know? If you're reading the Bible to your child or speaking to them when they were still in the womb, when they are delivered in the hospital and you open your mouth and say something, they start looking in your direction to see who is, this familiar voice. So they know. Don't wait. Start early. Catch these children young for Christ. Don't allow, because there are many things out there that they can inculcate into your child. And when they learn it, and now you're late, you're trying to catch up, you're trying to destroy what has been laid on their minds already. Before I finish this particular podcast, I will say this, there are insights on families, it's even the cousins and the nephews, yes, that mislead the children. When you refuse to lead them the correct way, they will learn from the outside. If they're going to school outside, that is the worst. They will learn from the students, from the teachers, things that you won't believe that they're learning at that age. Someone will teach them otherwise. The things that you should have taught them early not to listen to. And with that said, we are going to end this podcast on the note that it is better to teach the children. Bringing up children takes emotional effort, physical effort, and spiritual effort. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye.